16th of December, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Hashavua with Rashi, Vayeshev. Unfortunately, my son is having plumbing problems, and I'm helping him, and the plumber's going to call me back. I'm sorry, he's calling back now. Sorry about that. Hello? Calling what? You attach the button to the dude? Yes. Oh, the button in your house, you mean? Yeah, but you should attach it to the dude on the roof, not the dude in your apartment. But how long the dude is gonna be replaced? Oh, hi, how are you? I'll let you know that, okay? Connor told me the cable was like a meter away. He said there was a cable up there, but it was not connected to the thing. He was in my house. And he was like, "Look, we can use the house over like this." Okay, I go to the kitchen. I'm gonna be able to do it. Okay, and dude is connected to electricity right now? Really? Hello? Uh-huh. Okay, maybe I should have the plumber talk to you directly. Because he's been on the roof, I haven't been there. But he's the one that told me that I needed to hire you.
This.
I hope so. I mean, he told me with confidence that the dude up there needs to be replaced, but also the electricity has to be run to it. And he said that there was electricity up there, but it was not connected to the dude, needed to be extended about a meter. Okay, all right, I'll WhatsApp that to you in a minute. Also, the dude is gonna be replaced. So we need the electricity to run to it, but it doesn't need to be, it needs to be like a plug if possible, so that it can be unplugged and the new one put in and plugged back in.
Downstairs that comes all the way up here.
No, the situation is that there are two dudes. One is in the apartment, in the bathroom, and the other is on the roof. The one on the roof is a dude Shemish. There should be panels up there also, solar panels. And okay, so the boiler on the roof is right now, it should be just passed through. It's not doing any heating. It's just letting the water from the that's already heated by the solar panels go through it down into the apartment. Okay, so We need to change that. He said that it's old and it needs to be replaced. And it needs to be set up so that it's actually heating, so that it needs electricity. The one in the apartment is very old and it's no good. And we're not gonna use it at all. But in the apartment, there is a switch, a button that turns the dude in the apartment on. So that we want to change it, so instead of going into the apartment, it's going onto the roof. Yes,
I'm sorry. Vacation. Okay, sorry to be so crafty. I appreciate it. I'll tell you. What is your name? I didn't get it. Can you do my name? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. That's 180. Okay, you got the right amount? Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna get his contact information and I'm gonna WhatsApp it to you. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Sorry, Rabbi, I need another couple of minutes. I need to send some information to the plumber.
Okay,
I apologize for the inconvenience.
say that. Okay, then tell me I'll do something else. Good. Hope it's still not recording. Did you turn the recording off?
No, I didn't. I'll turn this back on. Okay, so we were just saying that the maid, they were maid servants, but once they got married, they became full wives, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it says secondary wives, that's somewhat of a misnomer. They're regular wives.
Yeah, but the mice, the problem was that the sons of Leah did not consider these sons who came from the wives who had originally been maidservants. They did not consider them with full status.
Right. So I wanted to discuss that.
Yeah, okay.
I was saying yesterday that it seems like the character of the brothers, the 10 brothers, is somewhat questionable. They did this with the maidservants, the children of the maidservants,
Right.
and they hated Yosef. Those
Okay,
two
right.
major.
Okay. Now, yeah, you say that they think that they hated Joseph. Now, this problem is thing as follows. The Torah tells us quite specifically why did they hate him? Because al chaloi moisav al devarov.
Well, didn't it first say that they hated him because they saw his father loved him?
You're right. It says say that in Pasuk Dalet.
So that seems to be incorrect. I mean, their father was Yaakov Avinu. He wasn't leper.
Okay.
You'd have had more respect for him.
And I'll say that they were tzaddikim. They weren't just your run-of-the-mill guys. It's interesting that we're a little bit jumping the gun because we haven't done Pasuk Gimel yet, but Pasuk Dalet does say that they hated him, and the Pasuk says, "Vayiru Echav," his brothers saw that his father loved him more than all the brothers. And therefore they hated him. That doesn't quite sound logical. They should feel enmity towards their father. Why do they feel enmity towards him? The obvious answer is that he was the cause of the father loving him rather than them. That is that is the logic. That is the thing. Okay, let's wait till we get to Pasuk Dalet and we'll discuss it further. Okay?
Okay,
Other question is, which I just, it's one of these kind of questions which you learn the Parsha every week, every year for the past, most probably I've learned it already past 50 years at least. And you come up with, what happened to the sons of the maidservants? Okay? It says that the sons of Leah were treating them they were treating the sons of the maidservants, right? Belittling them, and they called them avodim, they called them servants.
right.
It says that Yosef Dafka befriended them. We had that in the previous pasuk. Who naris b'nei v'lavas b'nei zepon yeshei aviv. Vayova Yosef dibor samra elavia. Okay, about who dibor samra. Oh, Rashi said before. I know Rashi's saying it right. The b'nei Leah, kol rosh ha'yorob echa b'nei Leah ha'yomagid la'aviv. And Rashi, the Mefarshim, say, why Dafka b'nei Leah? Because he obviously wasn't speaking about the Bnei Shvachos, Bnei Bila and Zilpah, because he was befriending them. So why is it in the end when Yosef goes to meet his brothers to check up on his brothers in later on in the Parsha, and it says that Shimon and Levi ganged up on him, and Lamaisa, although then afterwards Yehuda said, okay, let's go ahead and sell him. Why was it that the Bnei Bila and Bnei Zilpah joined in with the brothers of the Bnei Leah? They should have stuck up for Yosef. What happened there?
That's a good question. I think I have heard that question before, but I don't remember what the answer was.
Okay. Okay.
Do we know that when he spoke Lashon Hara, he didn't speak about the son?
Rashi, look at that's the Lashon of Rashi. Kol rosh ha'yorob echa b'nei Leah ha'yomagid la'aviv.
Oh, yeah, I see. I see.
Now there are various. The Mefarshim do dwell on this, right? What was the going on? I mean, Yosef was also is known as Yosef HaTzadik. How could he be that he's speaking Lashon Hara about his brothers? Anyway, there are different explanations, but one of the major is the Beis Halevi has his way of explaining it is that there was a fundamental machlokus between the brothers and Yosef as to what status they had. Did they have a status of being Jews? Or did they have a status of being Gentiles? Bnei Noach.
You're saying
So were they only obligated in the Sheva mitzvahs Bnei Noach, or were they obligated in all these 613 mitzvahs?
I see. So maybe it was he was allowed to speak Lashon Hara about them.
Oh, so that's the point. In other words, when he saw what they were doing, they were not acting as Jews would be allowed to act. Meaning, if they had a status of being already Bnei Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, they had this status of being Jews that they were obligated in the 613 mitzvahs. This is not kind of acts they should have been doing. Whereas they said, no, well, we have still a status of Bnei Noach. So therefore, that's why, for instance, I'm not going to go into it. It involves a lot of Talmudic lomdus involved in all these different cases which are mentioned over here. But basically, that was the underlying difference of opinion between them.
Well, that is in agreement with the with the things that he mentions are things that were usher to Bnei Noach, Ever Minachai, and Gilearias.
Right.
Um,
And what's the so what about the Mezalzim Neshrochas Likrosim Avodim? No, because they held that the status of marriage did not take them away from being servants. In other words, if Yaakov has a status of a Jew and his wives also were then converted to Judaism, so they no longer have a status of being maidservants. Whereas if they remain goyim, then they didn't change their status.
right.
So indeed servants. Whereas when the Bilhah and Zilpah, when they married Yaakov, did they have to change their status of being maidservants or not? So if they had a status of being goyim, so therefore there was no need for them to change their status of being maidservants, and Yaakov was permitted to marry them.
Right.
Whereas if Yaakov had the status of being a Jew, and therefore he wasn't allowed to marry maidservants, Elamai, they must have changed their status of become Giorot, they became converts. And therefore, sure, the children weren't considered Avodim anymore.
Hello?
Okay.
Did you tell him that it was that
Yeah, he's gonna talk to the plumber.
okay, good, bye.
Okay, bye. Sorry about that. So I think I understood what you were saying, Rabbi.
Yeah, so if you went, there's a Pirish called Beis Halevi by Yosef Dov Halevi Soloveitchik. He was the founding father of the whole Soloveitchik line. Your son learns in Brisk?
Yeah, he learns with Reb Tzvi.
Tzvi Kaplan?
Yes.
I see. No, so I'm saying he's also basically, so he'll be able to probably tell him, I think it's the Beis Halevi, ask him to sing on this passage. Okay.
Okay, so weiter.
Ubishloshton Loka. Have it in the middle of the Rashi.
Uvish Loshtan Laka. So Yosef was stricken with in these three areas. Al Aver Min Ha-Chai, concerning Aver Min Ha-Chai, Vayish Chatu Sa'ir Izim Bimechiraso. They slaughtered a goat when they sold him. Below Achaluhu Chai, but they did not eat it alive. Baal Diba She Si Per Alehem, and because of the report that he related about them, Shekorin La'achehem Avadim, that they called their brothers servants, Le'eved Nimkar Yosef. Yosef was sold as a slave. Va'al ha'arayos she'siper aleihem, and because of the sexual immorality that he related about them, Vatisa a Shes Adonav Vigomer, his master's wife cast, etc.
Cast her eyes upon.
Cast her eyes on Yosef and said, "Lie with me."
Right.
So there was a mina kineged mida that these things happened to him because of the things that he said about his brothers.
But it's interesting that why there's always an aspect of having done kol adam lakav schus. So why wasn't he, even with our explanation, why wasn't Yosef done? Why didn't he judge them favorably? And why do they also the brothers in turn? They had it seemed that the test of the brotherly love was a major test. By the way, somebody once mentioned to me, but unfortunately, it's a very nice pshat, but a very true pshat. He said that we say in the blessing we bless our children, is simcha lekim ke'Ephraim v'Menashe.
Right.
Right? Hashem should bless you like Ephraim and Menashe. Okay? And now, as we know that Ephraim and Menashe was actually the oldest, but Ephraim was destined to become greater than Menashe.
Right.
He said, if you take the track record of brotherly love through Sefer Bereshis, right, from the beginning, it's not such a tremendous track record. You first have Cain and Hevel. Okay?
Right.
Then you have Yishmael, Yitzchak and Yishmael. So also wasn't such a great track record. Then, of course, you have Yaakov and Esau. And then you have Vayeshev and his brothers. It wasn't until we get down to Ephraim and Menashe that we finally have an exemplary relationship between brothers. And not only that, not only did Menashe not have any enmity towards his brother, to Ephraim, but he accorded him honor even though he was younger than him. So it wasn't till then that we really had a good brotherly relationship. And that's why we say Yisim Kolikim Ephraim Menashe, and not all of the brotherly relationships that passed before that.
Right.
Okay. Should we let's finish the Rashi on the pasuk?
Okay. Dibasam reports Kol Lashon Diber Diba. Any form of the word Diba means parladitz in old.
Yeah, it's actually parladitz. It should be
parladitz. Oh, I have deets.
I know. It should be parladitz in Old French. So therefore, it means here, Kol ma shehoyo yochel ledaber bohem ra hoyo misam. Seems that Rashi's taking that the three cases, it wasn't three isolated cases that Yosef spoke about his brothers. It seems that he sought every opportunity.
Right.
Okay, Diba, right? Then Rashi ends off and it says Diba Lashon Doivev Sifse Yeshemi.
He makes the lips of those who sleep.
Right, which means those who are passed away, sleeping in the grave. That's what it means.
Oh,
okay?
so the people who sleep are sleeping?
So it's nothing to do with the pasuk over here. And what Rashi is showing, what the word dibar is showing an example where it's used in Tanakh to denote speaking.
Oh, got it.
So really, it's actually following on from the previous Kol Loshen Dibar Pauloitz for us. Rashi's being an example of that. Okay.
All right. Thank
you. We'll end here, and I hope you get your plumbing jobs taken care of.
Thank you very much. It's been a real trial.
Appreciate your understanding.
Sometimes you have a trial by fire, and this time it's a trial by water.
Water, right? Actually, it's an electrician I'm working with, so it's kind of a trial by fire.
Be well.
All right.
Walter.